All right.
Should just stop talking.
Okay, so
A positive story.
2020 and 2020. In 2020, during COVID, pre-COVID and during COVID, I found inner peace within myself. I have amazing family in my life and I couldn't love them anymore, and I learned that they're the most important thing in the world to me. And I guess slowing down life a little reminded me of what I have in life. And it's the small things that count. It's not the big things anymore. It's the small milestones, and that's how you can hopefully find some inner peace for yourself.
Okay, I started healing from long-term illnesses in 2020. I wasn't walking and talking about 2 years ago, and from a nervous system injury that brought out different illnesses in my body, and now here I am.
I think 2020 has had a lot of silver linings. One is the opportunity to spend extended time with my family in Arizona, since I can work from home. So I've gotten to spend time with my mother, who's old and not well, more time than I would ever have had, and that's incredible. And also I got this little guy, Skippy, and he's been the very best companion during the pandemic, and also he ensures that I get a lot of exercise because we walk in the park all the time.
I guess one of the biggest positive things that 2020 brought me was my man. It brought me some self-reflection. That's the biggest thing, and in that I found the love of my life, or I rekindled that relationship. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, in life, with all this things going on in the world, like with this pandemic, I'm definitely, super happy to have life and to be able to share that with somebody I love. So yeah.
So on June 6th this year in 2020, here in Central Park, we got married.
Yeah, we've met when we were 17 and we've been together basically ever since, and we did a Zoom wedding and dialed in our friends and family in Australia.
Yeah, so this year with quarantine being locked down at home, mostly had the opportunity to focus on studying Korean language, which is the native language of my wife, and using that time to really advance my studies and being able to communicate with her family and kind of use that in the future. So a silver lining for me in 2020.
Well, our second son was born.
Yeah, we got pregnant before the pandemic started, or that we knew about it, and then July came the baby, and it brought us together because we had to stay home and stay together and find entertainment with our whole family instead of being out on the go all the time.
And despite the negative side to a pandemic and all that comes with that, you took that out of the equation, it was the best thing that ever happened, because we had to stay home and be a family like we never were before. We couldn't go to work, and we'll never get that chance again once the world comes back, so it was really great.
Hi, my name is Leisha. Something positive that came out of this year was just unity amongst our family. I'm a healthcare worker, I'm a nurse, and having to work, throughout everything in the conditions, it just brought me and my husband closer. This was our first year of marriage. We got married last year in September, so it was really nice to see the unity that formed between us and among my in-laws and my parents. So that was something positive, I can say.
Yeah, and also see, we were both stuck home for about 5-6 months, but she was working at the hospital every single day, and seeing friends that, we're close with but maybe haven't seen for a few months, and families sending us gifts, sending us food, trying to help out whenever they could because she was working most of the time. See people come together like that. We're celebrating our first year of marriage in 2 weeks, and we're also searching for our first home as a married couple together. So that's definitely something that came out of 2020. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, so I think one positive thing about the pandemic was that our family dinners, if they happened, tended to be about 20 to 30 minutes because everybody was running around and busy. And in March, April, May, we were at the dinner table with our daughters for 1.5, sometimes 2 hours, because nobody had anywhere to go or anything to do. So we get a lot more family time, quality time out of an unfortunate situation.
So my name's David. I'm from San Francisco, but with all of this pandemic happening, we took the opportunity to just sell our apartments and put all our stuff in the car and get on the road. So we've been all over the country, and it's been a great experience that really wouldn't have happened without everything going around in the world today.
I planted a lemon seed and it sprouted a few leaves, and then I had to leave it because I came back to New York, and I just got a picture of it yesterday and it has like 12 leaves now.
Okay. Hey, I'm Guillermo, and the most positive thing that has happened to me in 2020 has I got a promotion, I got a huge salary increase, and now also I was able to afford my own studio in the city, so you cannot get more positive than this.
The most positive thing that happened to me this year was getting into grad school and just being able to spend more time with my family.
We took a road trip. I mean, we came here from Austin, Texas, so I got into grad school.
I got to start college in New York City.
About 3 years ago, my brother ran away from home and he went off to live by himself. And about a month ago, he came back to live with us, so that's nice.
I released my podcast series, which I have been working on for 2 years now, and COVID gave me the time to really work on it and release it to the world. It's called Snapped. Yeah, so my podcast is about my experience in Greek life in a sorority. It was not a good experience, and it delves into topics like slut shaming, hookup culture, rape culture, and just general life on campus.
I'm proud of my sister who started her new podcast, which has like thousands of downloads. People across the country are listening to it. They're being educated. She's talking about such important stuff, and I'm just so proud of her. Like, I feel like to create something in the year 2020 during all of this crap that's going on, you're sort of a hero to create something new despite everything going on.
So obviously, being in a pandemic has been pretty shitty all around, but I would say a positive thing that has come from it is that I've been able to read so much more than I was. Despite not having a commute, I've been able to read 70 books since the start of the year, and I largely credit that to not having anything else to do. So that's my positive.
Yeah, so the only positive thing, or the one big positive thing that changed me, that changed during the pandemic, was that I bought my bike. And that was really good for me because for 2 weeks I was very ill at the start of the lockdown, and I didn't leave home, and I was super sad, and then I only started to work again every day, which was pretty boring because I was just at home. And yeah, then I bought my bike, and since then I've cycled, I think, 5,000 kilometers. So I bought it on the 15th of April, so that was my goal, and I achieved it, and I love my bike, even though it's broken now, but I love it.
So through this time, I have had the opportunity to share with my nephew through FaceTime. Sometimes while he plays, I bake, and he's really happy about that. So he's always asking about when is the next time that we're going to bake together, even though he's thousands of miles away. So that's very nice. So my happy story, or silver lining rather, from this period of quarantine is the fact that after being by myself for like a few months, my sister actually came to spend some of the time of quarantine with me. So I'm actually quite excited that we get to spend time together after we haven't done it in a while.
I feel like one thing that 2020 has done for me that's super positive, it's just kind of made me stop and realign what's important to me. So I realized that I really wanted to hone into like my self-taping skills, which is basically job interviews for the actor. And that's exactly what I did, and it's been amazing. I mean, I just booked an international commercial with two of my best friends, and look at what 2020 did. Like, that's what it did for me, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I feel like sometimes we just need to learn how to stop and to not overwork and think that busy work it's productive. But honestly, sometimes we just need to stop. I need to stop and rethink like what my priorities are. And that's exactly what it's done.
So in 2020, I decided to adopt a cat,
because I was lonely and miserable, quarantining in my house with no one else. But he's really cute, and his name is Bo, and we're best friends now, and he has no teeth, so he can never attack me. And I love him.
My name is Daniel Hendrick Simon, and I'm a filmmaker in New York. I think one of the positive things that's going to come out of this pandemic is that New York is going to change a bit, for partially for the worse, but in some ways for the best, because you're going to see a lot more creativity. I think people are feeling more expressive and free to, for example, film short films in the park, do opera in the park. I think New York's going to be more of a cultural hub than it was the last 10 years, actually, ironically, because I think it's going to be a more affordable place for artists to live. So that's a silver lining in all of the other bad stuff.
So a positive experience of 2020 was about a new business back in Israel, and this is a great positive experience for me. A big opportunity for me, and that's it. I'm so glad to be a business owner.
My favorite experience in this year is that we came to America. It's his first time. We visited his brother after 13 years over here, and we love this country and we enjoy it.
2020 was positive for us because we got to move to New York City together and have an apartment for the first time.
Yeah, and we really are enjoying it, even though how difficult it's been.
Yeah. In 2020, I moved to New York City with my fiance.
So in 2020, we got a new puppy. We are dog lovers from the get-go, and we decided it's the perfect time to bring some happiness and love to this year for sure.
This is my first time in New York City. I'm spending my birthday here, and it's a very beautiful experience. Even though the year hasn't been so great with the pandemic, I'm very happy I get to spend my birthday here and see the city for the first time.
All right, my name is Don. This is my wife Sherilyn, and we're from Canada on the West Coast. So we had an experience with a dear friend of ours. We've known her a long time, and she reached a point in her life when she couldn't cope any longer within her apartment.
She was 88 years old.
Yes, and she had struggled for some time, but she had lost connection with the people around her, and really she was hibernating, as it were, in her apartment. And so we became closer involved with her personal affairs, and we were able to help move her out of her apartment into a care facility. And at first it was a real frantic, strange environment for her, and yet the people there were loving and kind and supportive, and really the right location for her needs.
So she's there now. She's got so many friends now. Before she had nobody around, and now she's got many, many friends. And so she's dancing and singing and laughing, playing ball, playing bingo, and all those things that she wouldn't have had at home. So for her, this move was a good move, even though the year was not as easy.
And the key thing that has created that transition is the connection with people, one person to another. That is the essence of the human spirit. You know, this is the true beauty within humanity, is how one reaches out to another and supports and cares for people in their times of need as well as their times of joy. And we've had a great deal of joy in our life this year. We got married in January, and we've had 9 months now of wonderful experiences and this reconnection with friends of old and friends of new. So it's been a wonderful year for us, and it's all because of our connection again with people and new experience.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. My name is Justin, and hey guys, welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. This channel will consist of many projects like the one you just watched, as well as different types of interactive projects that will happen later on once restrictions and the world kind of goes back to normal. The reason why I wanted to start off this channel with this particular video, a positive story in 2020, is because my positive story in 2020 was starting YouTube. It's always been in the back of my head. I've always had a passion for filmmaking and videography and editing and just putting a project together. I've always made excuses not to start it, but 2020 has given me the time and the realization that this is really what I want to do. So here I am, going for it. So thanks again for watching, guys, and please subscribe and follow along this journey with me. Hey guys.